I'd like to talk to you guys a little bit about my Decker pack saddle tips for using a Decker that not everybody may or may not do. Tip number one, label your saddles. It's my mule Sally. I have her name written on the side. This way here I can get my britchin and my breast collar and everything all set up exactly for this mule, and I don't have to readjust it every single time. So I know she always gets this saddle and it's set up to fit her. My other horses have their name written on the side. They have a pack saddle that specifically fits them. So the next tip I'm going to share is to use a quarter breed to protect your half saddle. So this right here, this piece of canvas is called a quarter breed. Its main job is to protect the half breed underneath. Your half breed has the padded felt inside and the wooden slat to help distribute the load against their body. This will take a lot of abuse, all your straps and everything else with the load rubbing on it. As you can see, my quarter breed here, this set costs about 35 bucks. It's just a sheet of canvas, and it sort of takes that abuse for you. And then if you're packing bloody quarters or anything like that, this gets the blood on it. You can take it off, pressure wash it, or just replace it, and keep your pack saddle. Will get a lot more longer life out of your pack saddle. Next tip is use I think we call it a piggin string to tie the string together. So this is just a piece of twisted rope. I back spliced it into my cinch ring. So we're going to back splice into the cinch ring on either side, and then it comes up and goes through my saddle, the bars of my saddle, and just it's a loop. So this is a piece of rope. I want to say it's about 54 inches long. I braided it together right here just so it made a nice little loop, and then back spliced it into the ring. And so this here, then when the horse behind it sort of pulls on it, it's actually pulling on your cinch, on your ring of your saddle, which is going right down and pulling on your cinch. Versus I've seen guys tie it right, basically tie right into the ring. And when you do that, all the pressure is basically pushing down on that ring, and that's shoving right down on their kidneys versus going down on their cinch. And then on your pigeon string, I just use hay twine. So these are my breakaways, essentially. Just tie them in a loop and feed them through. I have a whole bunch of them on here, so when I'm going down the trail, and if one breaks, I've got lots more. I don't have to go digging for them. And it's just a loop. I'll tie into that, and then that'll pop if a horse goes over, gets in a wreck or falls off a cliff or does something really stupid. That way they can get away. And then the last one, which is probably my favorite thing about these Decker pack saddles, is the actual cinch that I use. So if you look at this down here, this is a non-traditional, well, I haven't seen, there's a guy down in Caldwell, Idaho, Ken's Canvas Shop makes these, and they have these hooks in them instead of a traditional ring like you would have on a normal pack saddle cinch. And the advantage of the hooks is that you don't have to feed your tail of your rope when you're tying your load down, whether you're tying down a barrel hitch or whether you're tying a crow's foot. You don't have to feed it through there. You can just literally just hook it. And then if something gets in a wreck or you need to undo it really fast, you can just unhook that in your load. You're halfway to coming free. Just when you put these cinches on, just make sure your hooks are pointed to the back. That way if something does catch on them, it goes to the, they'll pop off. So the next piece I want to show you guys is just how to put up your pack saddle properly so it's easy to take on and take off. You're not dragging straps around. So we're going to start off just by undoing the breast collar. Let that dangle. The next piece here is going to undo this quarter strap. It goes down to your cinch. I always just take it and just tie it in my cinch ring so they're nice and tight, or so they're not dragging around. Take your britchin off and just lay it right between the bars of the saddle. Same thing with that butt pad. Now the only thing left to do is your cinch. And what I'd like to do with my cinch is just bring it back up through. Same way I do it on my riding saddle. So you got two little tails. Wrap that around almost like you're going to tie a cinch knot. But leave the top open. So you can pop that out, and then when you go pull your cinch, it'll all just come free. And it's not hanging around. Your cinch up. Then your breast collar. And I just feed it right through my cinch ring. and then through the back bar of my saddle. So now it's put up, so now I can just grab the bars, pull that off, and as you see, I don't have a lot of straps hanging around when I go to saddle her. Sort of the same thing. I can throw it on there, undo everything in the exact reverse order of what I just did. Then I don't have my cinch underneath her when I put it on, or stuff dragging around that I'm stepping on. Everything's nice and neat and tidy.